Hello all, welcome to the next session on the EWM PP integration. So due to the server issues, I had to recreate the data again related to the single order staging. So in this session, I am going to walk you through the master data setup which I have already maintained, and I'll quickly run the single order staging again, which we have seen in the last class already. And then we'll jump into the cross order staging related configuration, and then we'll run cross order staging cycle. So in this Excel sheet, I have also maintained all the details which I have maintained the master data already. So this is the plant P001 warehouse WH17. I have created the materials in MM01. These are all S4 related master data setup, and then I'll jump into the EWM related master data setup. So in MM01, I have defined the finished product WH01 FERT02, two components. I have defined the BOM in CS01, and I have created the PSA in PK05, and then create the work center in CR01. I have defined the routing for the finished material in CA01. I have maintained the production scheduling profile in MM02 for the finished product. Also maintained the production version in the MM02 transaction. For the components, I have maintained the control cycle in LPK1. And coming to EWM, I have maintained the stock in EWM warehouse. I have maintained the necessary master data in MAT1 transaction, like the strategy related integration. I mean the indicators related for receiving and picking. I have replicated the PSA in EWM with this transaction SEWM PSA replicate. I have maintained the SEWM PSA stage entries in SEWM PSA stage. I have ensured that SEWM PSA PMR star BC sets are activated. EWM and ERP document type integration is also maintained. WPT determination for inbound delivery is also maintained. So anyways, I'm also going to show you in the system how I have maintained and what are the nodes which are important before we run the cycle or test the scenario for both single order staging and cross order staging. So this is about the master data. So let me log into SAP. So I'm going to show you or run you through the single order staging again. Okay, so let me go to SEWM PSA stage, and these are the entries which I have maintained for our components. WH01 component. Here I need to maintain the disposal party under my warehouse WH17, and this is the supply area PSA. Here you maintain the product, and then you maintain the storage bin, which is the PSA bin which you have created. Here this is the important setting where you need to maintain whether the product or the component which staging you want to take place. Is it single order staging, is it cross order staging, or is it not relevant for staging, or is it a great part, or you want to perform the single order staging without the warehouse request. So since we are discussing about single order staging, we need to select single order staging, and if it is MES relevant, you need to activate this indicator. And this is the important setting again, quantity calculation type. Here you need to maintain quantity based calculation if you want to replenish the quantity with some entries maintained here. Okay, so if you select no quantity calculation, automatically these entries are grayed out, because if you select no quantity classification, system will consider the consider only the order quantity and then replenish into the PSA. Okay, for example, if your production order component has the quantity of 10, and when you run the SEWM PSA stage transaction, system will create the staging task for 10 quantity. Okay, if you select no quantity calculation, whereas if you select quantity based calculation, system won't consider the order quantity, system will consider the replenishment quantity from this SEWM PSA stage transaction. That is the difference. If you want to make use of no quantity calculation, you need to activate the baddie, which I am going to show you in the end. Okay, so then only once they activated, once the PC set or the baddie is activated, then only it will work. It will consider the order quantity. Okay, for now, since I haven't activated the baddie, I'm selecting quantity based calculation, hitting enter, and here I will maintain the replenishment quantity as 5. The meaning of this replenishment quantity 5 is if the quantity in the PSA goes under 1, then system will when we run the SEWM stage transaction, system will replenish 5 quantity irrespective of the order quantity. System will directly create a staging task with 5 quantity if the quantity goes under 1. And here you need to maintain the unit of measure, and next is staging WT, which WT you want to be considered to perform the staging. Okay, after this, for this WPT you need to make sure the strategies are in place. Okay, so I'll go to 2100 WPT and check whether the strategies are in place. I'll go to IMG. Since we are working with the picking process, we need to go to goods issue process. Under strategies, under this node, check whether your entry is maintained for your WPT. As you can see, the entry is already maintained under my warehouse WH17. If my WPT is 2100, then this is the storage type search sequence which system is going to be considered, PICK. Okay, and this is the rule, FIFO. So again we need to check whether the storage types are assigned to the storage type search sequence, PICK. In specify storage type search sequence, I'll select my entry and then click on assign storage type for storage type search sequence. As you can see, there is only one storage type maintained, which is RAT, and there is no storage type group defined as of now. So the configuration looks fine. Now the next thing which you need to check is under EWM, under interface, under ERP integration, you have production. Under this production, go to the first node and make sure that your order type is mapped to the document type in EWM for your warehouse. This entry is important. Okay, and then also make sure your item type is also mapped. Select the second node. So in your warehouse WH17, these two entries are already maintained by me. If my product group is cross order, then the item type which is determined is PCCO, which is standard. And if my product group is single order, then PCSO item type is determined. Again, the CMP, YBM1, PMR and PCCO, PCSO all are standard. All these entries will be automatically getting when you activate the BC set SCPR20 in SCPR20. So all the BC sets related to the SCWM or the manufacturing order are under SCWM PMR star. If I hit F4, I'll get all the required BC sets to be activated. So before you run, you need to make sure all these BC sets are already activated. Okay, so this is the BC set which is responsible for the settings of the single order, and if you are working with cross order parts, then you need to activate this one, and this one which I have mentioned, PMR document type and the item type as well. So all these BC sets should be activated before you perform the configuration. Okay, so the next configuration is, again I'll go to SPRO, under EWM, under master data, under production supply. Here you need to maintain the product group for the PSA assignment. Okay, execute this node. For your warehouse, you need to maintain the product group as YP. Where do we maintain this product group? In the SEM basis transaction. Next one is maintain warehouse parameters for production. Here you need to maintain what stock type you wanted to consider while performing the staging under your warehouse. Okay, so after this, so let me create a production order and check whether our settings are working for the single order staging. Okay, to create the production order, go to CO01, give the finished material, enter the production plant, enter the order type which is standard YBM1, hit enter. Here how much quantity you want to produce? I want to produce 1 quantity. Select the scheduling type as current date, hit enter. You can ignore the warning message. In the assignment, you need to make sure your profit center is maintained. In our case, I am using the SAP dummy profit center. In goods receipt, you need to make sure your storage location is determined. How the storage location is determined? Again, it is coming from the material master data. Okay, so in the material master data, you maintain the production storage location. So from there, this location is being determined. Okay, so if you click on components, you can see the BOM components. These are the components which are going to be consumed to produce WH01 APRT2. This is the ratio: 1 quantity of COMP1 and 2 quantity of COMP2. And in the operations, you can see all the operations which are needed to produce this finished material. So in our case, I have only maintained one operation 0010, maintained as complete assembly. Now I'll click on release. You can see release carried out, and directly I am going to perform the WM material staging. Click on execute. As you can see, there are no errors and the material staging was executed successfully. So at this step, my manufacturing order will be distributed to EWM and the manufacturing order is created in the form of PMR after this step. Okay, now I'll hit save. My order number is created. Now I'll go to EWM and check whether my PMR is distributed or not. Select manufacturing order. Make sure you are in the right warehouse, WH17. Enter your manufacturing order, hit execute. So here you can see your manufacturing order. This is the PMR order document number. You can see the finished material WH01 for 2 and all the other administration details. In the item level, you can see the component details. The very important thing which you need to consider is whether your item types and staging method are being determined correctly or not. I'll select both the items, click on form view. You see the product, quantity, your operation which you have maintained in the operations tab in for the finished material. You can see the work center, you can see the PSA bin. This is important. The staging method is being determined correctly from the SCWM PSA stage transaction. 3 meaning single order staging. Your WPT 2100. The stock type which needs to be picked is F2. Here again item type is single order parts, PCSO. And same for the other component as well. Quantity is 2. And item type is single order staging. And the staging method is also single order staging. Now we are good. The document is green. Now we can proceed to create the staging task. Okay. Go to SCWM stage transaction, maintain your warehouse number. So we have different selection criteria over here. You can give by the PSA, you can give by the staging method, you can enter manufacturing order, one or multiple manufacturing orders, or you can give the finished product, or you can give the components which needs to be staged. In my case, I am giving my manufacturing order. Let me verify whether I am entering the right manufacturing order. Okay. So here I am selecting period end at specific time in the future and removing the test mode. Click on execute. System is just giving the warning message saying that the scheduled quantity is exceeding the quantity to be removed from storage. This is because our order quantity is 1 and 2, but we are going to replenish 5 quantity. That is the warning message which is appearing over here. Okay, this is because due to the quantity calculation. If I go back and see the message, we can see 2 warehouse tasks are created. Okay. Now I'll go to monitor and check whether my warehouse tasks are created or not. In the monitor, click on documents, double click on warehouse task, check open and confirm warehouse task, give your manufacturing order and hit execute. As you can see, 2 warehouse tasks are created for each component. For component 1, warehouse task 117 is created. For component 2, 118 is created. The source quantity is 5. Though our order quantity is 1 and 2, system is not considering the order quantity. It is considering the quantity calculation which you have maintained in the PSA stage. Okay, so that is why system is replenishing or creating the task for 5 quantity. System is trying to move the stock from rack from its original storage bin to the PSA bin. Okay. So you can either go to RF and perform the confirmation of this warehouse task or directly confirm from monitor. So in our case, I am directly confirm from the monitor. I am selecting both the tasks. Selecting this option, click on confirm WT in background. Okay, I'll click on OK. As you can see, the status is now completed. The stock is now in PSA bin for consumption. It is ready for consumption. Now I'm going to SAWM RF. Hit enter. So since we are working with consumption process, it is under outbound process. Select consumption. Since you have the manufacturing order, select option 1. Enter your manufacturing order. Hit enter. Enter your PSA bin or the handling unit which is in the PSA. In my case, I don't have the handling unit, so I am giving the bin. Hit enter. Now you need to enter the component. Enter the component from, I am trying to get it from the warehouse task. Hit enter. I am going to consume 1 each. Hit enter. System is again showing me the same screen to enter the next component. I'll enter my PSA bin. This time I'll enter the second component. Hit enter. Now I'll enter the quantity which needs to be consumed for the second component, which is 2. Just observe. So this is the staging warehouse task. Now let me refresh. As I can see, one warehouse task was created for the consumption. Okay. For component 1, the goods issue was posted. Now when I hit enter, now I'm trying to consume product or the second component, 2 quantity. Hit enter. Now here if I check or click on refresh, the second component is also consumed. Here you can see for component 1, 1 each is consumed, and for component 2, 2 eaches are consumed. Component 1, 1 each, component 2, 2 each. At the same time, if we go to CO03 and check the material documents, give the order number, click on go to, click on documented goods movement. You can see for component 1, material document has been created, 261 movement type has been posted. For component 2 also 261 movement has been posted. The consumption was done in AFS storage location, that is why we can see AFS. One moment guys. Sorry guys, I'm back. So as we can see, material document has been created, and if we want to check the quantity as well, I'll try to click on change layout and see the quantity. Now we can see for component 1, 1 quantity was consumed, and for component 2, 2 quantity was consumed. Now we are yet to receive the finished product. Okay, so now consumption is done. Now